Here we have a very slightly used 2023 Land Rover Defender. And this is the 130 body style and the SE trim level. Comes in one of my favorite Land Rover Defender colors, the Pangea green. And then we have khaki perforated leather interior. And our powertrain consists of a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6 engine, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And that puts out 395 horsepower. Coming around to this front end here, we get our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights and LED fog lights. I love those kind of, I guess, the ring look it gets there. That big ring, and then you have the two on the side here. Really, really sleek look. Now coming around on the wheels here, these are going to be 20-inch aluminum. Just a little bit dirty, I apologize for that. We get passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. So for the windows here, you're going to get one touch up and down for all 4. And then we have our power mirror controls here, and you can hit both of these at once, and then they'll power fold, and your blind spot monitors are in those. And then we have 3 memory seats there. And then we have our power door lock controls here. We get a Meridian sound system, surround sound system, excuse me. Nice size pocket here. And then we have an electronic parking brake, which you just pull to engage, press to engage, excuse me, and then you hit the brake and pull to engage. And then here is our 12-way power driver seat there with power lumbar support. Now let's check out the leg room here. So pretty impressive back here. I'm 6'3". I have the seat in front of me adjusted for someone of my size, and I'm able to sit back here with about 2 inches of room between the back of the seat and my kneecap. So very, very nice. And keep in mind, this is a 3rd row as well. So there's our 3rd row back there, and there's still a little bit of leg room behind the seat there. Very impressive. And then we have that 3rd row skylight to go with this panoramic roof, which I'll open up here in a moment. And then I like that we have the cargo nets as well. Sorry if that lighting's bad. Turn this on. Helps a little bit. Then we have behind on both seats. And then down here we have our vents, rear AC vents. And what's really awesome is we have quad zone automatic climate control. So we have the climate controls for the front, driver and the front passenger, and then both of the outboard seats have their own temperature gauges, but on top of that you get heated and cooled outboard seats. So that's something, I don't even know if I've seen that in a vehicle before. I know it's in them, but I haven't seen one personally. So that is actually pretty neat. And then we can decide where we want the airflow to come from. We can set the auto mode there, and then we can mess with the fan speed there or cut everything off. And then you also can sync it as well. But you can only sync it from the front, and then it'll lock the back. That's what I was trying to say. And then here in our center seat, we can fold that down. Then we have our cup holders there. We do get the premium LED dome lights back here. Then we have our AC vents there. And then we have speakers in the back as well. But I'll go ahead and check out that rear space next so we can see that. Kind of gloomy out, and it's starting to sprinkle, so that's why it's so dark in the back. But as you can see, you also have very, very dark tinted glass from the factory as well, which gives it a really sleek look, but it really keeps it from getting too hot back there when the sun's out. All the floor mats are back here, but we can adjust that suspension. These buttons here, we can raise or lower that. And then we can also not only fold the 3rd row down, but we can also fold the 2nd row. So to fold the 3rd row, you just pull this strap here and then fold it up. And then you can fold that second row and it'll pull up. Now this one does not fold flat, but you can get all of that room there. And then one thing I did forget to mention is you do get the heated outboard seats in the third row too. So all the luxury you can imagine. And one thing I like about these seats is they're really easy to get back to where you need them to be. Especially that third row when you fold it flat. And you have pockets back here as well. And like I said about the 90XI review, just even in that two-door version, just really practical in terms of all the storage you get. And then there's your dual exhaust right there. But a really, really good look for the Defender here. And there you have your fuel cap there. Of course, premium is recommended in pretty much all of these engines. But it's mostly for horsepower output, and you're less likely to get your engine knocking sooner, I guess. And there's your front passenger seat, power with power lumbar. Also a 12-way seat adjustment there. Now you do have a pocket here if your passenger wants to hold something, or if you want to put extra stuff there. Sorry, my jacket keeps getting on this mic, so hopefully it's not being heard. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and just take a quick look in the engine bay. I've only reviewed the Defender a couple of times, so still getting used to a lot of the stuff here. But there's that 3-liter turbocharged inline 6, mostly covered up. But there's just something about a Land Rover, specifically the Defender, being in this green. Just love it. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So really nice leather wrap steering wheel here. There's a toggle for that heated steering wheel there. But like I said before, I just love how it has that like Hummer H2 kind of look there. Really, really aggressive. Now over here to the radio, you can have your profile set up. There's your navigation there. And of course you can search certain destinations, or if you want food, gas, parking, whatever, you can just click on that. It'll give you the shortcuts that are close. And we do get AM, FM, and XM radio along with Bluetooth audio, and then we get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto too. And we can check out the air quality here, which is actually a pretty neat feature to have. And then you can purify it if you want to. And you have the ionizer too. Now you do have access to what I like to call the quick shortcuts. You can just kind of scroll through so you can check out your slope assist, compass, wheel info. And this is for the real Defender enthusiasts who are going to be taking this off-road, taking trails, all of that. And like I've said in my other review of the Defender, I really like this energy impact. So as soon as I turn on the heated steering wheel, it shows you it's using a certain amount of energy there. If I turn the heated seat on to 1, and if I turn it on to 3, it'll show you there's not a big change in the energy. But then when I turn the second seat on, it'll show you the difference. So really, really intuitive, and it's really keeping track of what's going on. Now there's the backup camera there. And then what's cool is you get an on-road view, an off-road view, and in the off-road view, it'll show you your approach angles. So as I'm turning the steering wheel, if the differential's locked. And then on the on-road view, you get that 360 bird's eye view along with your backup camera. And then if you're towing, you get that towing view 360. And then you have that kind of hitch backup view there. Now to our shifter for the 8-speed, you just hit this button back here, pull down for drive, slap over, and you can shift manually from the shifter, and then you can tap up and hold to put it in neutral, and then you can hit the button again, pull all the way up for reverse, press P for park. And then back to those dual zone climate controls for the front, you just push the button. It's pretty self-explanatory if you want to adjust the temperature, and of course you can toggle whether you want the auto mode on or off. And if you want it off, you have to go ahead and just toggle the fan speed and do that. You do that, and then you can turn it 3, 2, 1. And then my favorite thing is by hitting that button there, you can scroll through your drive modes where there's eco, comfort, and then you have your all-wheel drive modes where there's rock crawl, wade, sand, mud ruts, gravel. And then you can, of course, toggle that suspension, lower it, raise it, traction control, your auto stop you can toggle off here. Just a lot going on here, but it's easy to do once you get used to it. Now the volume knob I complained about in my other review of the Defender, but that's a quick fix because you have a volume scroll bar right here, which is very, very easy to use. It's the only scroll bar there, so you'll remember that's volume. And then down here we have a USB-C and a USB-A input along with the 12 volt. Then plenty of storage down in here because you don't get a traditional center console cubby space. You have your fridge where that goes. Then your wireless charging pad there. 2 cup holders. And these Defenders, the more I get in them, the more I see they have so many features it's ridiculous. Like you have grab bar, and then in that third row you can't see because of the lighting, but there's a grab bar back there. And then can I get that? I think the only way to open that third row skylight's from the back. But there's that panoramic roof there. And you can one-touch tilt or slide that. Now to the steering wheel here, we have our shortcuts, and then we have trackless radio station favorite controls there, along with voice recognition, and you can set all of these up within the screen. And then on the right side of the steering wheel we have our lane centering, and we have our cruise control, and this one doesn't have the adaptive one. And then we have our heated steering wheel, and we can toggle our cruise here and then cancel there. Over here, headlamp controls, you just kind of have to hold it where you want it, so that'll just do the corners, that'll do the headlamps, pull all the way up for auto, and then you can toggle the front and then the rear fog lights, and blinkers there. You can change your info by hitting that button, and it'll show you in that bottom right what you want to see. And then you have your windshield wiper controls here. That's for the rear, and that's what you can set for your intermittent, and then you can toggle and then you actually hit this button for the rear wiper fluid, which I figured out just now. And then for the front wiper fluid, you pull up here, and it'll do that there. And there we have our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob.